Hey guys, it's Metabook6 Minecraft and Roblox, and today we are going to be doing a story time video. Hope you enjoyed the stuff in the background. Well, let's get right into it. Today, I'd like to talk about my experiences participating in talent shows. Now, my middle school had a yearly talent show. They do it every year on like the second to third, like first, second, or third last day of school. We would all go into the gym and stuff like that. Now, the way that the talent shows worked at my school is that you would come up with an act and you would sign up usually on a Google Doc and the teachers would look it down. You'd have to practice and stuff, and then eventually you would have to audition. Now, this was the part that always kind of freaked me out because you would, for me, I used to sing, so I would have to sing in front of my class, which is not an easy thing because, well, I'm an introvert. I don't like to talk to people. I don't like singing in front of big groups. I'm not a fan of it. I am very shy. So trying to sing in front of my class was something that kind of always scared me. So the first year that I decided to participate in the school talent show was in 6th grade. Now, one thing I'd like to mention first is that 6th grade was my favorite year ever. I mean, I absolutely loved my teacher. My classes were awesome. It was just amazing. The students were really, really nice as well. And I had like all my best friends in my class. So I'd been practicing for many weeks to sing Sound of Silence, and something that I know a lot of people can understand is that singing high is not easy, which is why I liked this song because, well, it's not a very high song. And also because, well, there's a weird phenomenon that happens to me when I start to get addicted to a song and dance, but I'll talk about that in a separate video. Anyways, I'd been practicing for a while, and once I felt I was ready, I eventually put my name onto the list, and I was pretty excited. The only thing that worried me, though, was that I don't have a very great memory, especially when it comes to a lot of things, like posting, for example. But besides that, I don't have a great memory. So what I ended up doing is, when I was practicing, instead of just looking at my lyrics on a laptop or on a tablet, I had my math tutor print out my lyrics, so that I had them written on paper in case I forgot any, because, well, stage fright. So, on the day where it came to audition, I sat and waited until my name was called. Now, there were a lot of great acts by a lot of the other students, mostly singing, some acting, and stuff like that. I remember one of my good friends, Abby Wall, did an amazing dance performance, which I was worried that I would not be able to top, because usually they only let in, well, I think it's like 1 to 5 students per grade. I might be wrong about that. In fact, I probably am wrong about that. But yeah, when it came to my turn and they called my name, I stepped out in front of the class as all of the students in my grade were shoved into a tiny classroom, and they started playing my music in the background. Now, you know how I mentioned stage fright? Well, I have really bad stage fright. To the point where I ended up, instead of like holding my lyrics in front of my hand and looking down at them, I actually ended up holding them in front of my face so that I couldn't see my class and my class couldn't see me, including the teachers who were picking out who was going to get in and who wasn't. I mean, if I had to say, I think I did a pretty good job, but I didn't know what the teachers would do. So I went through the rest of my day, and at the end of the day, when I was sitting in my homeroom waiting to be released so that I could head out to the car line, they were calling the names of people who made it in on the announcements. As they called each grade, they called 3rd, 4th, and then 5th, and then 6th. And when they call 6th, they went through announcing each student's name, and this is basically a rundown of the announcements. And from Thacker class, we have Abby Wall, Twilight Unicorn, Cassidy Green, Green Girl 12, and finally, Madeline Skelly. Now, if I'm being completely honest with you, I did not expect one bit to make it into the actual talent show. I expected to be thrown to the side and to have to sit with the rest of my grade. To be honest, that's kind of what I think I wanted initially, but I was excited nonetheless. I looked over to the teachers, and I remember one of them winked at me. Now, I can't remember which teacher, but I know that one of them did. And I was ecstatic. So, over the next few days, I practiced and practiced and practiced singing my song over and over and over and over and over again. And eventually, when I was completely confident, so I waited until the talent show took place. I was really, really excited. And on the day that it took place, I waited, and eventually I got called down along with the rest of the students in my grade. So me, Abby, and a few of my other friends walked down as all of us had made it in. And when we arrived in the gym, there were a line of students. Now, they weren't in line for like grade, but they were, well, I found out later that they were in line for like your act and stuff. So I talked to the music teacher, and he got my music all set up, and I stood and waited in line. Eventually, they started calling down the grades one by one, from the youngest grade, 4th, up to 8th grade. And slowly, all the students started rushing in, sitting down in, well, order and stuff. So each group went through doing their performances, and eventually I did mine too. The music teacher started the music, and just like last time, I was shaking in my boat, literally. Like, there were so many students. I was performing in front of the entire school. I was, like, really freaked out. You know, what the heck? Let's embarrass myself. Here's the clip. Yeah, I was practically breathing very heavily when I eventually finished that. So that one went pretty well. Everybody seemed to like it. And over the next year and summer, I became a lot more confident in my singing abilities that I decided to participate again in 7th grade. Yeah. So that year I decided that I was going to sing 1,000 Years. It's a really pretty song, and as I was able to sing slightly higher, it was a little bit easier for me. So I did that. That one went surprisingly well. I wasn't really nervous, and I didn't hold my lyrics in front of my face. But anyways, after that we had COVID and I couldn't actually perform my song for 8th grade. So, for 8th grade, we did a video talent show, and here's the video that I sent in for that. I'll let that be the outro.